Welcome to the Green Hat Local SEO Podcast, where Kyle Sabra delivers hard-hitting, actionable tips and strategies to help business owners dominate their local market and crush the competition. Kyle's no-holds-barred approach cuts through the noise of traditional SEO, focusing on battle-tested tactics that deliver real results. He's here to arm you with the tools you need to skyrocket your rankings, generate more leads, and grow your business online. If you're tired of hearing the same old SEO nonsense and want to learn the truth, this is the podcast for you. Get ready to put on your green hats and learn SEO secrets the other guys can't handle. Now, here's your host, Kyle Sabra.
This is Kyle from Green Hat Local SEO, and in this episode of the podcast, we're going to talk about how you can become the Kardashians of your industry. And by that, I mean how you can become famous just for being famous. So how do we do this? So we know who the Kardashians are, right? Before they were on Keeping Up with the Kardashians and they had their reality TV empire, there was that famous video that Kim Kardashian had with Ray J. And before that, they really weren't talked about, right? Sure, Kim Kardashian was one of the hangers-on with Paris Hilton, and her father, Robert Kardashian, was one of the defense attorneys for O.J. Simpson. But they really weren't anywhere until they were everywhere. It seemed like overnight, they just kind of blew up. And they were called, one of the people, or some of the celebrities refer to them as somebody who was famous for being famous, which is a moniker that's been put on people in the past, but I think is apt here. But it fits, because if you think about it, like, what did they do? Same thing with Paris Hilton. They didn't have their own business empire before reality TV. They made no, scientific breakthroughs. They weren't particularly famous models or anything. Nothing really. They were just famous for being famous. And sometimes that's all it takes. All that needs to happen for you to blow up is to just blow up, which sounds contradictory. And you're probably wondering what this has to do with SEO, but stay with me. So like I said, one day, just all of a sudden, it was Kardashians everywhere. It was Paris Hilton. They got their own reality shows and all this, and seemingly just because they were famous. Well, why did this happen? How did this happen? Just because people just started talking about them. They just put themselves in the right places at the right times and just got people talking about them and got people noticing them. They didn't, like I said, do any sort of, amazing scientific breakthrough. They weren't athletes. They weren't, award-winning actresses or anything like that. They were just themselves. And that is absolutely, like it or not, how society works nowadays. You don't have to be great or amazing at something. You can just be famous for being famous. And the same bullshit applies to your GBP, to your Google Business Profile. Just be famous for being famous. Well, fucking great, Kyle. How does that work? I'm sure you're asking yourself, but this is what it is. Google loves branding. I have been talking about this for about 2 years now. I mentioned it on one of the very first episodes of this podcast series, but Google loves branding. And that is exactly what the Kardashians have done. Paris Hilton, all of these fucking airheads that are famous for being famous, all created brands, right? So this is exactly how you do this for your GBP. You need to build your brand. One of the easiest ways to do this is just to start getting clicks. And the easiest way to just get clicks is with a tool called Agency Assassin. So there are a lot of tools out there. There's Agency Assassin, there's SitePop, there's Kraken Viper, whatever the fuck he's calling it nowadays. But Agency Assassin by far is the easiest one to use as far as CTR for your GBP. Unfortunately, it doesn't do CTR for your website or for your YouTube videos or social media. This only does it for your GBP. But this is how you get famous for being famous. So like I said, one of the things that Google looks at really is who is a brand, who is getting clicks, who is already getting some love from users. And it's hard to do that unless you either have been around for a long fucking time, unless you spend hours and hours and hours creating social media and, maybe trying to create some fucking viral videos or some stupid shit like that. or you just get around, you're just around long enough that somebody's parents and grandparents fucking used your company. But at that point, you don't really need to spend money on SEO. So how else do you get clicks? You do it with Agency Assassin. So this CTR software, what it'll actually do is it'll take realistic looking clicks and drive them to your GBP, to your Google Business Profile. And the more you do this, the more Google looks at it and is like, oh, holy shit, they're getting some clicks. These guys are an actual brand. Fuck, I better rank them higher. And then what happens is, as you have Agency Assassin running to your GBP, to your Google Business Profile, right? Google notices these clicks and starts ranking you higher and higher and higher. And not only that, but it'll actually start testing you for other keywords, getting you more impressions, right? Because think about it. If you have a, let's say, for example, you are a plumber, right? So you can get known for, drain cleaning. So you're really promoting your drain cleaning services. People talk about your drain cleaning. Fucking great. You are known as the drain cleaning guy, but really at your core, you're a plumber, and people know this. So they'll call you for drain cleaning and be like, oh yeah, by the way, I could really use a new water heater. Do you do water heater installations? And you're like, fuck yeah, I do. Awesome. The same thing happens with Google. Google knows that, yes, you are ranking for drain cleaning, you're getting clicks for drain cleaning, but really at the core, you are a plumber. So you provide other plumbing services such as water heater installation, such as sewer line repair, shit like that. You don't just do drain cleaning and unclogging pipes and shit, right? Pun intended. But you also do all these other things. So as you're ranking for drain cleaning, Google is going to notice this and also try to A/B test you higher, try to test you up higher for other plumbing keywords, such as, whatever the fuck else you do have listed on your site for fucking new water heater installation, water heater repair, like I said, sewer line repair, French drains, stuff like that. Just like people, once they realize you're getting famous for one thing, will call you for other things, Google will also do the same. And this is one misconception that people have with CTR is, oh, I'm paying just for one keyword. Fuck no. You're paying for a bunch of keywords. You just don't know about it yet. So while you might be only shooting clicks over to your site or to your GBP for drain cleaning, once you get this done, and once Google notices that you are becoming famous just for being famous, Google is going to start giving you more opportunities to get other keywords. And again, rank you for related keywords to drain cleaning that are also in your main category of plumbing. Now, if you are a plumber, you do plumbing and HVAC. This isn't going to work for the HVAC keywords because those are a completely different category, right? If you do drain cleaning and somebody calls you for drain cleaning, they're probably also not going to call you over to install a mini split at the same time, right? People don't really work like that. Neither does Google. So while you are ranking for this drain cleaning keyword, you can also rank for plumbing keywords. But if you want to rank for something outside of that main topic, there is a little bit of work you're going to have to do. You're going to have to put that page up on your website. You're going to have to get it optimized with Cora or Page Optimizer Pro. You're going to have to shoot links over to it. And then once you start getting a little love there, then you can start shooting over clicks via Agency Assassin. And then you can start getting love for those HVAC keywords. And then you can start growing that side of your business. But just like people don't really look at, don't really call plumbers over for HVAC problems, Google doesn't really do the same either. Just like, people didn't really think of Google as like a place to go grab a pizza, which is why the McPizza failed, right? One of the reasons why. Google works the same way. But McDonald's got famous for hamburgers, so now whenever you go to McDonald's, you're going to get a hamburger and maybe also some fries and maybe also a chocolate shake, which are all kind of in the hamburger ecosystem. Same thing with this. So if you want to get famous just for being famous like the Kardashians, the best way to do it is by using a CTR software like Agency Assassin to start getting clicks over to your Google Business Profile, right? this isn't to say that this is all you need to do, because yes, while the Kardashians are famous just for being famous, they also put a lot of work in on their personal brands, right? You know, they have this TV show. They've probably had to manufacture drama for the TV show, right? But they also have their personal fashion lines, perfume lines, what the fuck ever they do. One of the Jenners is some sort of a model who gives Pepsis and solves world peace or some shit like that. But my point is they did not just rest on their laurels and expect the universe to do everything for them. They did have to put some work in. So while you're using Agency Assassin to get yourself Kardashian level famous, you do need to do things like, build backlinks. You do need to do things like do your on-page SEO, add schema, write blog posts, post on your social media, things like that, because CTR, Agency Assassin, things like that can only get you so far. If you want to be famous for being famous, you still have to do other things like build up your brand, right? So that is just a really quick rundown on how you can turn your plumbing, roofing, whatever the fuck you want to call it, into the Kardashians of your niche in your area. And that's by artificially becoming famous by using a CTR software like Agency Assassin to run clicks over to your GVP. It's going to give you a huge bump over your competition, right? I can guarantee you your competitors are not using this. So the sooner you jump on this, the better, because you're going to be getting rankings that much higher and faster over your competition while they're still busy fucking with their thumbs up their asses waiting for Google to give them some love. So that's about it for this episode of the Green Hat Local SEO Podcast. Again, my name is Kyle Sabra. If you don't want to mess with Agency Assassin yourself, then contact us, ghtls.io. We have a free until you rank SEO program to where you won't pay until we get you ranking in your general area for your service. This is a completely no risk offer to you. We're taking all the risk, putting up our own money to get you ranked. That's how confident we are in our abilities to do this. So again, my name is Kyle Sabra. Contact us at jhls.io if you want us to make you famous just for being famous, and I will talk to you later.